Shining bright lotus.
Well, welcome to today's Dharma talk. Today we're going to look at the fifth precept, which in our the Shining Bright Lotus Sutra book is respect clarity. I vow to refrain from intoxicants. I act at all times with mindfulness and clarity. I do not abuse my body or cloud my mind with the misuse of intoxicants. So from Jumpo, it was addressed as respect clarity, do not abuse intoxicants. And of course, there are many ways to that this precept is interpreted and expressed. And if some of it is available. There's Ekai compiled something called the Cosmopolitan Zen Buddhist Precepts Primer, which I think is available on the website, but we have it in our precepts class, our current precepts class. And so they're all a little bit, it's the same thing, but expressed differently. Like Thich Nhat Hanh's I really like. It really helps me. It's much longer. I won't read all of it, but so aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I vow to cultivate good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I vow to ingest only items that preserve peace, well-being, and joy in my body, in my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. There is more, it goes on. But I like it because it's really kind of something to get to grips with. It feels very real and very relevant to our, how can we show up in life and with everything we have to deal with. And then another one would be John Dido Lori Roshi says, proceed clearly, do not clear the mind. So that's a short one. And so I like I like all of them. They all have different things. That short one is kind of like I can put it in my pocket. So it'd be like, proceed with clarity, do not cloud the mind, or kind of watch out. Or so it's like I can put it in my pocket, So say I do have a margarita, which I haven't had for a long time. And actually the last time I did was in Boulder and I got in trouble because I had more than one, and as I don't drink very often, I got in trouble. So I could have pulled it out, and actually I would have interpreted it as stop it and enough. So, but maybe I need those things, and so those short ones, that's how I would see it. And so now why I find this a challenging precept. So I really looked at that, and all the precepts have challenges, but this one in particular. So I really looked at why is that, and here I am sitting and sharing about it. Well, I think I'm a bit of a rebel. I have a rebellious streak in me, and I rebel against rules a bit. And I know that they can guide us and protect us. But I also, and I've done this to some extent, obviously you have to be discerning even with when you break the rules, but that to test a rule, why would that rule be in place? Or so maybe, so it's worth looking at why do we have these precepts? Why have they been put there? How do they help us? And so to not avoid the conversation, as I said, I find it challenging, this one. Here I am sitting here, open, honest, and vulnerable. As in my research, in the Buddhist context, it seems that it's not only, but strongly aimed towards alcohol. But their intoxicants have different meanings in different places. For example, in Afghanistan, as far as I know, I haven't been to Afghanistan, Some of my friends have, and they say the guys, they sit around and smoke pot, but alcohol, absolute no-no. And many Muslim countries, or I can't say all, I don't know all the facts and figures, but alcohol is a real no-no. And so, and then in Japan, okay, so I remember in Japan, the salarymen, after work, not every time, but particularly on Fridays, they'd get drunk and they'd be on the train and sitting there, and so a lot of us, particularly the women, we would find out, we would ask them, or sometimes if it was, we went on the same train, you'd know that guy and you'd know that he had to get off at Totska. And so you would be coming to that station and you'd get one woman on one arm and the other one, and you push him and the door would open and you push him out of the train, so that at least he'd be in his home station, and maybe he had his wife or somebody would pick him up, or it's accepted, but make sure you don't have a little bit of pot in your pocket, because you'll be in big trouble in Japan. So it's really not acceptable. So it's very varied. In Rastafarian religion, marijuana is a sacred, it's a sacrament, and they have a chalice and they smoke from the chalice, and then they have some council, it's called reasoning. And in the Catholic Mass, wine is a symbol of the blood of Christ. And I've been to a Seder and they had kosher wine. They did the one I went to in part of the ritual. So, and Vajrayana Buddhism, there's something called the Vajra Fest, where you drink a lot, you might eat a lot, and the idea is to transmute your confused condition. And can you bring awareness when you're intoxicated? So it's quite, this is all, some of this is under the umbrella of Buddhism. So it's challenging, I think. A Theravada Buddhism seems to be really strict. No, you must not do it. And the Buddha himself said, I read this, researched this, it can bring loss of wealth, increased conflict, illness, and reputational damage. Well, I can really relate to that, because if you buy a lot of booze, then you're going to have less money for food. And if you have a smaller income particularly, then it'd be better to concentrate on good nutrition. I can see that. And increased conflict. Yes, I've seen where people get louder or sometimes get violent. And also your reputation, if you show up drunk where it's not a good idea, then your reputation is lost. So I can relate to that. So I myself have had my share of alcohol, and as a teenager and in my 20s, particularly, those early years, I drank underage. I went to the pub when I was too young and got into trouble. And so why did I do that? I did that, well, that's what the gang did. I used it to not to feel the pain in my heart or the difficulties in my life. And what else? So alcohol in a way is, I think, also the most acceptable in our society anyway. It's the most sort of acceptable. It's okay to have a drink. But these days I don't drink. I can't say I never drink. I occasionally, but hardly ever. I just can't handle it, maybe because I'm getting older. But also I enjoy feeling clearer. Let's see, isn't that great that could be part of my practice, my meditation practice? I don't like feeling woozy before I go to bed. I don't like waking up with a headache. Even if I have one glass of red wine, I like, ooh, golly, I had a glass of wine last night. So I can't do that. Occasionally I might have half a little bottle of beer with some fizzy water. That's how it is nowadays. Well, marijuana is another thing. That's an intoxicant. So I grew up in the UK. It was like demonized. You're going to get busted, you're going to go to jail, or you're going to get a big fine, which a lot of my friends did. And over the years, that's changed. I lived in Colorado for 35 years, and that went from pretty much like, oh, we don't talk about pot, oh, you shouldn't have it, or it's the old thing that I grew up with, to it was like slowly you could get a medical marijuana card, and then now it's legal and you can go to a dispensary. And people have, I also think there are some good things in it. I do. I've seen it's good for, and I worked in a company in Boulder. I helped with some tests to do with helping people with seizures. I think it can help people with insomnia, even intimacy, sexual intimacy. I think it can help. And with all of these things, misuse, I think, of intoxicants is the key thing, because you have to be discerning. And I also know people that smoke a lot of pot and they get really paranoid, and it's not good. So we all have to find our way. And under the thing of, so painkillers can also be misused. If I have a headache, it's quite likely I might take something, what do we call it here, paracetamol, or I don't take those, but ibuprofen sometimes, or and these things can be misused. Then under this umbrella, there's ayahuasca and medicine and mushrooms, plant medicine. Now, they can be misused, and they can be really well used, and I know that from personal experience. And we have to be discerning, because what is the intention? What is our intention? What is your intention? My intention for doing that? Is it just to sort of get high and whoa, it be loose, or whatever you think? Or is it with an intention for greater awareness, to see things in a truer way, clearer way, a real way? So, and be guided. So it needs to be done in the correct setting with the right support, and it can, I believe, could be helpful. Now, that's my opinion, and we can all have our opinion and our own experience. So what's another one? Well, some people say caffeine. Mormons don't drink tea and coffee. Well, I like my tea, my black tea. I was weaned on black tea, a little milky black tea in a feeder cup. Go figure. Well, I was, and I have gone periods of time when I haven't had my tea, but I do like my tea. And in England, it's been the medicine for everything. Somebody dies, you have a cup of tea. If there's a celebration, let's have a cup of tea, put the kettle on. That's what we do. And I think, like coffee, caffeine also, if you drink way too much, it's not good for your heart and your being. I have a cup of tea in the morning, and I probably have a cup of tea after this when we get off this meeting. That's about it. So what else? There's before I don't know how long I've been going on. Okay, so we can widen the net. So what about digital media? Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all these things. Well, we don't, the other things go alcohol, and they go into our bloodstream, into our body. So these other things online don't, but energetically, I think they do. And they affect our mind. So we have to be discerning. I definitely have to be discerning, because I'm aware that I can be pulled, like I'm looking up something else and there's this thing, oh, what about that? Oh no. And I'll just have a look. So I've gone off focus. I'm not focused on what I was going to do. So now, Particularly in the evenings, I don't look at any news, anything about politics, nothing about the war, climate change, any kind of violence or violent movie. No, I might look at some upful music. Music is the fantastic medicine as far as I'm concerned, and I might watch a quiz show in Portuguese because I'm learning Portuguese, some fun show, silly show, because then it helps me with my listening practice. But anything else, I don't, and I don't look at my Kindle very much. Only if I can't buy the book. I like to look at the paper pages. Thank you very much. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, and I think that I can be talking to you all over the world. Isn't that fantastic? So it's a great tool, but I think we have to bring our strength and clarity to it. So, and for me, the main thing is, am I misusing this? Am I using marijuana, Facebook, alcohol, anything like that? There's many other things, pornography, sex. Am I using it to avoid reality or to numb my pain or to block awareness? If so, then that's when I need to pull that thing out and say, wait a minute, get a grip, and take this precept to heart. It's not about judging myself or judging anybody else. It's about staying aware, and it's not about weaponizing myself or anybody, but using it as a compass, like, okay, look over here. No, that's quite good. No. Okay, come on. No, stay here. Keep going this way, and staying focused. So I hold it as a reminder: respect clarity, proceed clearly, do not cloud the mind. So thank you for letting me share this. It is difficult for me. Why is it difficult? So I guess because to say what is my truth, then I have to go into the things of looking of, what are they going to say if they don't agree? And that's another piece of work, that's other work, but that comes up particularly in this precept, I would say. So with that, I thank you all.
Shining bright lotus.